And now it's my pleasure to introduce to you the General Manager of the Big Kitchen, Mr. Greg Fisher. Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, David. Mr. Triguboff, distinguished rabbis, members of Parliament, many of whom I've had the privilege of meeting at our Big Kitchen, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure, firstly, to add a voice of happy birthday to you, Mr. Triguboff. May you enjoy many more years of good health. As General Manager of our Big Kitchen, a part of the Yeshiva Centre, it is also my pleasure to highlight the growth of the activities within the kitchen over the past 12 months and to talk about its future. And before I go any further, on a personal note, I would like to thank Mr. Triguboff, Meriton, and many of the subcontractors in this room for the beautiful home I purchased last year up on level 20 at VSQ North. I'm a very happy Meriton customer. Our Big Kitchen was created from the energy and the vision of Rabbi Slavin and his wife Leah, and became possible from the generosity of Mr. Triguboff and many, many people in this room. The generosity not only created the kitchen, it showed leadership to other organisations and people who have since followed your lead to ensure that the philosophies of our Big Kitchen may flourish. The local fruitologist, Nudie Juices, Manildra, our auditors Ernst & Young, Zorba Financial, Saxon's IT and so many more now also support OBK's charity and community work. I would like to cut to the chase and give you some real statistics about our Big Kitchen, perhaps some of which few people would be aware. Last year alone, our Big Kitchen sent out over 50,000 portions of food through agencies such as Matthew Talbot, Wesley Mission, Lou's Place, Chapel by the Sea, Bear Cottage, Oz Harvest, Jewish House, the Humour Foundation, House of Welcome, and many, many more. No, this is not a map of the Meriton sites. Rather, it shows the reach of the schools that come to our Big Kitchen. Over 70 schools and more than 4,000 students visited our Big Kitchen last year to have fun, to learn about nutrition, and to discover the joy of giving. We now have a volunteer army in excess of 500 people, and last year alone, over 15,000 volunteer hours were given to our Big Kitchen to support its work. Last year, we had about 40 corporations, including some 2,000 participants, holding their team building programs at our Big Kitchen. These programs enable work colleagues to get together in a fun and meaningful environment, the output from which is many meals for those in need. The overwhelming response from the organisations that have been to OBK has been a real sense of fulfilment and achievement. So the types of programs that we hold at our Big Kitchen include corporate groups from small to mid-sized firms to large banks and government agencies. USH, the out-of-school hours care. Our school holiday periods are now fully booked with programs for schools from all over Sydney and beyond. Interfaith programs, working towards breaking down barriers created by prejudice and intolerance. Emergency response, such as the recent bushfires in the Blue Mountains of Sydney, where about 120 volunteers descended on our Big Kitchen to create thousands of meals that went out to agencies to directly support the victims of the fires, as well as the emergency response personnel and their family. We hold birthday parties, and last year, parties were held for people celebrating their 4th birthday through to their 60th birthday. And we do a lot of work supporting new people coming to our country, including programs coming from the University of New South Wales, encouraging Australian students to welcome and support foreign students, through to our work with agencies such as the House of Welcome, the Asylum Seeker Centre, and Amnesty. Our delivery of programs for school-aged children continues to grow. Last year, our association with another not-for-profit organisation called Kids Giving Back saw nearly 1,000 high school-aged students at OBK preparing meals, and then delivering them directly to those in need. We hold weekly challah bakings, which is the making of traditional Jewish bread, and we have a regular Mothers Club, which was born out of the recognition that new mothers sometimes need some extra support, as well as the opportunity to socialise in a warm and nurturing environment. Every Tuesday and Thursday, we hold volunteer cook-ins, enabling anyone in the community who wants to give back to others to come in and to cook with our chefs so that meals may be at the ready for those in need. Rabbi Slavin has often said that one of OBK's greatest joys is seeing recipients turn into givers, meaning that people who once came to OBK requiring a helping hand later return to help others in need. And of course, we have a very special program every Monday, the Barista Training Course, which we conduct in association with Bravo Coffee and which sees many people currently experiencing homelessness come to us through relevant agencies to gain vocational skills and, even more importantly, regain some confidence and dignity being within a warm, safe and social environment. As I said, all of the above programs and extensive community work has been made possible because of your initial foresight and ongoing support. So on behalf of the many thousands of people in the community who directly benefit from your generosity, I say thank you. My job as General Manager is to deliver as many charitable and community programs as we can, and the demands on us are huge. Whilst we are always striving to achieve financial self-sustainability, I firmly believe that a not-for-profit organisation must not mean a not-for-revenue organisation. We should, and we do, charge for the programs that we offer, such as to corporates, for birthday parties, etc., so that we may endeavour to cover our costs and continue to deliver the many who call upon us who have little or no capacity to pay. We say at OBK that food is the excuse for bringing people together. It enables people to talk to each other, to seek help or guidance, etc. I recognise that to continue to expand the reach of our Big Kitchen and to meet the demands of this agency, more programs need to be created to generate additional revenue. To that end, I am proud to announce that OBK recently established OBK Catering, providing quality kosher food for special events, as well as to a kosher cafe in Bondi Junction. OBK even catered tonight's cocktail party. And speaking of caterers, may I congratulate L'Amour Catering for tonight's dinner. L'Amour started at OBK, and once it had grown and established itself, moved to its own premises, an achievement we take some pride in having assisted. I also want to thank the Sofitel, and particularly Executive Chef Boris Curzon, for their assistance, not only tonight, but throughout our long association. Boris was in fact at OBK only yesterday, providing his expertise and his guidance for the commencement of a pilot program we are about to launch with a major hospital, but more on that at a later date. Just recently, we were appointed by Rawson Chocolates to take over the manufacturing of their organic and kosher certified chocolate, for which OBK derives a management fee. Going forward, we are looking at badging certain items with a view to delivering to the market more kosher products with a social as opposed to commercial imperative. As an example, we now have OBK coffee that has been roasted by Bravo Coffee, and it is kosher certified. The profits from the sale of OBK will then be returned directly to further support and expand the barista training course, which I explained. I would love anyone who has a coffee machine in their office to consider buying coffee from OBK, so that in this small way we can assist other people in need. Look, I guess everything that I have said so far sounds a little bit like I'm a chief executive announcing a company's result at an annual general meeting. And whilst I am proud of the growth in the activities and the improving financial position, it is the expanded community reach of more and more OBK services of which I am most proud and most grateful to you all. On that note, I warmly invite you to visit OBK as part of your corporate calendar this year. Central to our Big Kitchen's thinking is the importance of a second chance. For the homeless, it is the provision at no cost of the barista training course I mentioned. For people with disabilities, it is offering them the opportunity to come at no cost with their carers to learn life skills and to feel part of the community. And then there is our relationship with corrective services. Our Big Kitchen employs up to 5 inmates full-time whilst they are in custody. They leave jail in the morning, they come to work to receive an honest day's pay for an honest day's work, and then return to Silverwater at night to be locked up. We also host up to 7 court-ordered community service clients every day who come in to clean and to do other work as directed. Last year, OBK enabled 12,450 community service hours to be performed by hundreds of people, who in return received rehabilitation and encouragement to make better decisions in the future. And we work closely with the Attorney General's Office, enabling clients of juvenile justice to come in and consider a more positive path. Second chances is what OBK is all about. Second chances. And to that end, allow me to reintroduce myself. I am inmate number 378121. Following a successful career in property funds management and property development, some 10 years ago, I myself went down a destructive path that ultimately landed me in jail for a fair period of time. Now let me go back a minute. When I was flying high in my career and I had listed my company on the Australian Stock Exchange and I was worth a fortune, I had this crazy rabbi, Rabbi Slavin, constantly trying to contact me, presumably to make a donation to the Yeshiva Centre. To my great shame, I never took Rabbi Slavin's call. And I can only express my gratitude that when my time of need came, he immediately took mine. When I became eligible for works release from jail, on my behalf, my father, Jack Fisher, who I am proud is sitting with me tonight, contacted Rabbi Slavin and asked him if he would employ me. The response was immediate and it was positive, and I started working at our Big Kitchen about 2.5 years ago. So from managing director of a listed company, having then experienced great personal fall, I was now so happily employed at our Big Kitchen. Perhaps mopping the floors at our Big Kitchen was my punishment for not having taken Rabbi's calls all those years earlier. The truth, of course, is that I was offered the opportunity to come to our Big Kitchen and to ultimately use my commercial skills for greater social cause. And so 18 months ago, when I was released from jail, I became its general manager, a position I hold with great pride and genuine empathy for others in life needing a second chance. Ladies and gentlemen, last year, Mr. Triguboff decided to purchase and thereby save the Yeshiva Centre, giving it a second chance to allow it to focus on all the community and charity work it is capable of. Speaking as I am from our Big Kitchen, we have taken this community gift very seriously. We are determined that the support and generosity led by Mr. Triguboff is not wasted. Rather, it is leveraged to the greatest extent possible. Our Big Kitchen is part of the Yeshiva Centre. Of course, the Yeshiva is a Jewish institution comprising a synagogue, a school, and a higher centre of learning for rabbis. And so it has its place in this wonderful multicultural country in which we are all so privileged to live. The added dimension of our Big Kitchen enables the Yeshiva to retain its Jewish identity and to also engage positively with the wider community and people of all faiths and denominations. I again thank you for all your support and make this special tribute to you, Mr. Triguboff, on your birthday. Thank you.
Australian story there. Another round of applause for Greg. Well done, Greg.